Swan, neck, right here, and it's gone.
That's a big brown,
Right now I'm going to tell you a story of how I got beat up by a swan on the Provo River. And when I say beat up, like, no joke, I had freaking bruises on my arms. My emotions were in tatters. Like, I think I even got my car stuck on the way out of there, but I'll tell you how it happened. And by the way, we're just tying blobs, so don't ask me what we're tying. It's just 2 pieces of freaking Fritz on a hook. This is good story time tying, right? So here's how it happened. Middle Provo, also middle of the freaking winter. All right, so I'm out there, I'm trying to get some reprieve from my duties as an HR business partner. You know, I probably spent the week telling people not to take people's freaking lunch out of the fridge or writing some policy in Spanish or something like that. So anyway, I needed to de-stress. Out on the river, guess what? The fish were rising. Midge hatch was on. So I'm like, finally, I can have a dry fly day. This will get me in a good mood for like a week, right? So boom, 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 you catch fish, and then you find like the 1 11-incher that's just going nuts. It's like he's coming up, you're like, oh dude, that's a toad. Anyway, that happened. And so I see this fish rising, right? And I'm walking over, stealthy as a 6'5", 300-pounder can get. Watch the NFL, it's possible, okay? And so I start walking up, and there's this swan. And if you've ever seen a swan in real life, like I'm a large human, right? Large. And this swan was not playing. So anyway, I start trudging over there. And what do I see? It's like, oh, there's a swan. It's a freaking bird. It's like, okay, bro, I'm a human. I'm going to go fish here. You freak off, fly away, go, you know, deliver some babies or whatever swans do. You know, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk up there, and this sucker, hold on, I got to tie this off. I'm going to keep wrapping in a second. But this sucker looked at me like this, and he started swimming over, and I'm like, ho, ho, ho. I got like the lead gangster of them all. This is the swan that flies in the front of the V. This is Alpha Swan, AS, tattooed right on his chest meat. I'm looking, I'm like, dude, if this thing turns around, I'm getting some CDC off of it, because he was looking good. But no, he comes in, flying V formation straight for my freaking face, and I had waited out. I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait around. I'm going to respect the wildlife. Well, guess what, wildlife? If I respect you, I need a little respect back. Well, I didn't get it this day. He swam over to me, and I kind of like had my net. I'm like, no, bro, we're not doing this. And he goes, hoo-hoo, smacks my net out of my hands. It's a floating net, and I'm like, dang. He hit me with like a 10-pound boxing glove, just like, cock, and I'm like, bro. Okay, so this is the day that I wasn't prepared to drown my swan. I was ready for the news. Salt Lake City man dies from bird attack. And they're like, what kind of pterodactyl was it? And they're like, no, it was a swan. It was a swan. He's the one that was making fun of the ugly duckling. And this is a revenge story. Cheech is dead. Who cares? That's what I was going through my mind. Anyway, so only thing I could do, again, I literally had it like this. Swan, neck, right here. And it's gone. Like that, bro. No, it was terrifying. That's exactly what it sounded like. And so, not only that, I had it, but those freaking boxing gloves started beating my arms. And so here I am. So I'm retreating, holding a swan by the neck, getting beat up. Yeah, anyway, I finally he's like, okay, large humans retreating. I won the battle, the war, and he's going to tell this story 20 years from now. But you know, that wasn't the worst thing of this whole deal. The worst was when I had to walk in through the door, and I had to confront my wife, my bride of I don't know how many years, who's put up with me. And, sorry, I'm going to tie flies again. I'm getting too I got to chill out. But anyway, I had to explain to my wife that my demise was almost death by swan. And, you know, it took a little bit of time for her to trust me again after that. But anyway, long story short, don't mess with the birds. You know, they will mess you up, especially swans. You know, they think, you know, everyone thinks, oh, they're so pretty. It's like, nah, they're freaking stone cold killers.